I'm meeting with Dr. Renee Robichaux, who is the Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs at LSU Eunice, and she has agreed to talk to us about what she is looking for when she goes over job applications. So, Dr. Robichaux, when reviewing applications, what kind of issues will lead you to automatically reject an applicant out of hand?
One of the first issues is if you have a form letter and it's really obvious that it's a form letter. And in that form letter, you've also been sloppy, meaning I've read cover letters where they begin by saying, I'm applying for a position at Louisiana State University. Well, actually you're applying at Louisiana State University Eunice. But you can kind of let that slide and think, okay, well, they're just saying Louisiana State University. But as you go through the document, and now they're referencing another university, maybe UL Lafayette, or I have actually read one where it started out with Louisiana State University and then was talking about McNeese further on. That tells me you used a form letter and you didn't even proof the form letter very well and you weren't thorough. So if you're not going to take the time and effort in your cover letter, then what are you going to do in the job? So in most hiring these days, it's electronic. And when we look at applicants, we have three choices. I have a visual aid here. We have a move forward, a hold, and a not interested. You want to be in the move forward. And if you are using a form letter and it's sloppy and you didn't tailor it to the job you're applying for, you're going to end up in the not interested stack.
So you're looking at the cover letters and at the resumes, and you're asking yourself, okay, what does this document tell me about what this person is going to do on the job? So you're really judging applicants only on their writing at this point.
I am. And the way I look at it, okay, if you think about the hiring process of today, almost everything is electronic, which means there's going to be a job posted by the HR system. And in the first 14 days, there's probably 100 plus applicants applying for that job. The HR manager is then going to go through and remove those that do not meet the minimum qualifications. And sometimes people just apply for everything. I've gotten, diesel mechanics applying for biology instructor positions. And you just have to go through and say that doesn't meet the minimum qualifications. So then once you take out those, you're down to about one of 50 to 75 applicants in the process, okay? You want to be one of 10. And that's where that cover letter is going to come in. A cover letter is like a movie preview. If you like going to the movies. If you're sitting in the movies and you're watching that preview and that preview is well done, it's hitting the highlights, it's interesting, then you're more likely to go to see that movie. And the same is true of your cover letter. If your cover letter speaks to the job at hand, it is succinct, it is well written, it is error-free. You have to use good grammar. When I pick up a cover letter and I reach for the red pen, and I have the desire to start circling misspelled words and sentence fragments, that's going to go in the not interested stack. It's very important that you speak to the job you are applying for. And that goes back to that not using a form letter, because you want to tailor why are you the best person for this job. Why should I move you from that stack of 50 to 75 forward? So that's what you're looking for. And with a cover letter, a lot of people will take that cover letter and just have it be a rehash of their resume. They'll just summarize their resume in a narrative. And you don't want that, or I don't want that when I'm reading a cover letter. I want to know what makes you the best fit for my job, because everyone's qualified that's in that stack. There's something special about you, and that's what needs to come out in the cover letter. What are your interests? What is your personality? why are you the best choice for that job? I want to see that you thought about the job, you thought about what you can add to the university or the position. I want to see that you've done your homework on the university and the position that you're applying for, and that this is a well thought out, designed process that you've gone through.
Okay. And what are some of the things in the past that have really been winners in applications that you've looked at?
I can tell you about winners, and I can tell you about at least one loser that stands out, that got into the not interested pile. In the winner pile, when you look at the job announcement, that job announcement is going to look for specific qualifications for that job. And the winners tend to highlight those qualifications in that cover letter. So if you're looking for someone who is well organized and has experience with certain software or certain data management, then you want to bring that forth in your cover letter, not rehashing where you've worked and what you've done at those jobs, but perhaps you were the person who identified and implemented a new data managing system, and you did that over the course of 6 months, and it was a $1.2 million payoff for that company. Or you discovered a new research technique, and that research technique led to a further discovery. That's where you want to really highlight what you have done and how that relates to the position. Those are winners, when it's well organized and when I can almost go through, these are the qualifications that we listed in the ad, here's the cover letter, and Dr. Mesh did this and that meets that qualifications, he has that experience there, and I can very easily tick off and align, that's what I'm looking for, here are the highlights in that cover letter. Cover letters and application packets that go on and on and on do not bode well. That's the do not do advice I would have. One instance I remember in the past, the application packet was over 45 pages long. The cover letter was 10. Okay? In the ad, it said a cover letter of 1 to 5 pages. Well, this is a no-no on a couple of reasons here. A, they didn't follow instructions. So again, if you didn't follow instructions in applying for the job, that makes me wonder, how well are you going to follow instructions and do what you're asked to do on the job? The other thing is, the committee doesn't have weeks to go through these. In reality, we usually get together in an afternoon and we have a couple of hours to go through 50 to 75 of these apps. So again, if you're clear in that cover letter, you follow the recommended guidelines of 1 to 5 pages, and actually if you can stick 1 to 2, you're probably better off, because you want to be able to see how they meet the qualifications, what makes them special, how can they add to this job that perhaps others cannot, and then move them forward.
Okay. Dr. Robichaux, thank you very much for your insight.
Well, you're welcome. I hope this helps. I've been looking at applications and cover letters for, dare I admit, over 25 years. So, yeah, have a little insight on what to do and what not to do.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.